Let's discuss about Modifier 47, 50, 51 and 52. Modifier 47 is used when the surgeon who performs the procedure also administers regional or general anesthesia. It is the anesthesia by surgeon modifier. Usually, anesthesia is performed by anesthesiologist, but this is the case when the surgeon who performs the procedure administering regional or general anesthesia, do not applicable to local anesthesia and not to be used as a modifier for anesthesia procedures, and which cannot be used if the surgeon is monitoring the general anesthesia performed by an anesthesiologist, CRNA, resident or intern. In that situation, we can't use this modifier. Example is surgeon initiating regional anesthesia prior to endometrial biopsy. Most probably, the surgeon is initiating anesthesia in case of emergency situations. He is performing the anesthesia and will perform the emergency surgery. In that case, most probably, this modifier came into action. 50 is the modifier of bilateral procedures. Bilateral procedures which is performed at same session. What is bilateral procedures? Same procedure on both sides of body during same operative session. Do not use this modifier to procedures on skin. Why? Because skin is one organ. Do not use this modifier when code description already states procedure is bilateral. Simple logic. Do not use modifier 50 when code description states one or both. Let's do an example. Physician removes foreign body from both ears without general anesthesia. The CPT code is 69200. Removal of foreign body from external auditory canal without general anesthesia. Along with this CPT code, for this particular scenario, we should add modifier 50 because the procedure is performed on both ears. Consider CPT code 60220, total thyroid lobectomy unilateral with or without isthmusectomy. We cannot use modifier 50 along with this code because the thyroid is not a bilateral body part. When the bilateral surgery indicator is 0 in table A of physician fee schedule, it means physiology, anatomy or the code descriptor specifically states the procedure is unilateral or there is an existing code for bilateral procedures. Never append modifier 50 to these procedures. CPT 58210, radical hysterectomy with bilateral total pelvic lymphadenectomy and para-aortic lymph node sampling with or without removal of tube, with or without removal of ovaries. This procedure code also cannot be billed as a bilateral procedure. These procedures are considered inherently bilateral, which means the code descriptor or the procedure specifically includes bilateral body part. In this example, code descriptor includes bilateral lymph nodes and depend upon the extent of procedure may include fallopian tubes and ovaries. 51 is the modifier of multiple procedure. Multiple procedures performed at same section. Do not applicable to evaluation and management services. When we are appending modifier 51, list the highest paying resource first and append modifier 51 to the second and subsequent procedures. It can be applicable when same procedures are performed at different sites and procedures performed multiple times. While appending modifier 51, there is a multiple procedure discount. This refers to the practice of reducing reimbursement for subsequent procedures. Why? Because of shared resources when two or more procedures are performed together. Let's do an example for modifier 51. Look at the scenario. Patient present for the removal of 0.5 cm malignant skin lesion on trunk. Layered closure of resulting wound is performed in same operative section. In this scenario, two procedures are performed. First is removal of 0.5 cm malignant skin lesion of trunk and the second one is layered closure of resulting wound. The wound is resulted from the excision of malignant skin lesion. as per Modifier 51 policy, list the highest paid procedure first. In these two procedures, the accession and layered closure, the highest paid procedure is layered closure. So first list 12031, repair intermediate wounds of scalp, axilla, trunk and or extremities excluding hands and feet 2.5 cm or less. And secondly, list 11600 with Modifier 51, excision of malignant skin lesion including margins, trunk, arms or legs, excise diameter 0.5 cm or less. So this is the correct coding method. First list the highest paid procedure and second list the subsequent procedures with Modifier 51 in order to indicate that it is a multiple procedure. 52 is the modifier of reduced services, partially reduced or eliminated procedures under certain circumstances. This modifier provides a means to report reduced services without disturbing identification of the basic service. If the provider plans or expects a reduction in service or electively cancel procedure prior to completion, then we can use Modifier 52. Look at the scenario. If the removal of transvenous electrodes was attempted but was unsuccessful, we can report the code 33234 removal of transvenous pacemaker electrode or electrode single lead system atrial or ventricular with Modifier 52. And we can use Modifier 53 of discontinued procedure depending upon the circumstances why the procedure was stopped. Modifier 52 is reportable if no anesthesia was administered and physician elected to terminate the procedure. If elective termination for the reduced service, we can add Modifier 52. But if the procedure was terminated due to any extenuating circumstances, at that time Modifier 53 would be applicable. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe Knowledge Masters if you found this video helpful.